Hi, Cancer. Welcome to your monthly reading. As always, keep in mind that this is only a general reading. Always take what it feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences during this time. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, please contact me through the email I put in the description box below. For the month of November, as usual, I have a special sales offer available. And for this month, it's inspired in Scorpio theme season we are on, and it's called the Pandora box. It's a reading that guides us into a better understanding of our own shadows and how to turn some of that darkness into light, into magic, and into empowerment. It is also indicative of what kind of powers are being unleashed, positive and negative ones, into your reality. So if you would like to know more details about that special offer or any other of my services, again, just email me. Or if you would like to donate and support my channel, you can also do so by following the PayPal link, which is also down below. So, Cancer, I feel like some of you have this huge positive development when it comes to work, studies, projects. It feels like for some of you it's work, for some of you it's your education, some of you it's both, like hand to hand. It feels like some of you are doing really well, either in you achieving your goals in terms of your studies, or you Cancer might be teaching, or you might be this person that educates, right? Or you're able to educate, you're able to instruct and give knowledge and give help and give assistance to people in a way that it's very fruitful, in a way that it's very compensating to you as well. For some, you have been this area of life that deals with your goals, that deals with you achieving your material ends, has been under some sort of transformation as of lately. So it's like you have been perhaps considering changing hobbies or career or subjects of interest, or um, for some of you that this is not about work or studies, it's about you have been thinking on making significant changes that would add quality to your life and interest to your life. I feel like some of you really want that productivity to be a part of what you are involved with, so you don't want to waste time. And November has a lot of that vibe of you not having time to waste. So distractions and things that keep you from, again, working on your masterpiece, working on this beautiful Three of Pentacles, as you can see here. Things that are keeping you from working on your masterpiece is like, no, I don't want it. I don't have time for it. Go away. Let me focus. And I feel like for some of you, you're really going to be concentrated into perfecting something that perhaps you already have started, a project, an idea, or you're going to stop everything basically that is, not relevant, and just push yourself to perfect and do more. Do more, do more, do more. Some of you might be a little bit on this workaholic vibe, but at the same time, it's like the workaholic in you is trying to compensate for times that you have been totally, procrastinating or not doing as much because you were not as driven or not as sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. For some of you that are facing doubts in terms of your purpose and career, I feel like November is very enlightening. November is very good to address doubts when it comes to future prospects, and what choices to make and what choices not to make, and where your perhaps fortune lies and where it doesn't. I feel like you're also making some evaluation, and acknowledgement that perhaps you were choosing the wrong activities or the wrong people, collaborations here, contacts. It's like something prior to this moment, maybe you were looking for the wrong, you know, in the wrong places, the wrong means, the wrong tools that would not be facilitating the type of results you want. And it feels like November brings that facilitation in terms of now things start, working. Things that have not been working for you, Cancer, in any area of your life. feel like they start to be quite manageable, and from manageable they start to actually be very productive, and from productive they start to be very abundant, and before you know it, you're doing something that brings a lot of happiness, pleasure, satisfaction into you. 10 of cups in your unconscious, so you're driven to find your happiness in November. You're driven to find freedom from, again, things that prior to this month have keeping you down or have keeping you, in that deep deep, dark mood or melancholic mood, or mood like depressive one, fearful one. You're putting things behind you, shadows behind you. You're putting, weight behind you. You're putting doubts behind you. And it feels like some of you are really putting behind, leaving behind the baggage that has been um, destructive to your future. I feel like some of you have been really have like this big moment of hiatus. I don't know if it's said that way, or like, okay, you have had this big pause, suspense, in your um in the outcomes in your life, right? In things you wanted to see results. You have had some stagnation, basically. um because I feel like some of you cancers were learning to process, endings, disappointments, things. You were learning basically to leave behind what belongs behind, and you were also learning to prioritize yourself and your future more than your past. And I feel like some of you have gotten closer to this realization, or you're about to, that what matters is what's ahead of you, only what's ahead of you, because you cannot turn back, because what was is what was. And so forward, you long to find better. You're going to find better because you're working on that. Some of you are working on your happiness. You're working on the happiness of your family, of your marriage, of your business, of whatever you were prioritizing as being so valuable. So again, prior distractions and patterns and tendencies and choices that were jeopardizing this happiness, or this happy, bubble and conclusion to something, you are not participating with it anymore, because now you see clearly what you must do to keep it, you know to keep something protected, and to keep something steady, and to keep something working, being in love or in career or whatever it is. You will now, the door opens here. The realization of what the death process brought to you, and the Scorpio season is bringing to you with the death card here, is opening a door where there has been a feeling of things, like things that were shut down to you, opportunities, uh uh how you say, like opportunities and creative ideas, solutions, things that you felt like you couldn't get through, are now opening to you, are now inviting of you, are now welcoming of you, because you've got to the level that you needed to access this door that leads you to very bright heights, right? And horizons, where the magician is actually the outcome as you go into December. So it just keeps getting better. Whatever this is for you, Cancer, it feels like it's just going to um, help you channel magic. I feel like some of you have not been channeling, again, especially for cancers, that this is really about work. It's almost like your performance in terms of your work perhaps has not been what you would like it to be, because there were something blocking, suppressing, right? Your genius mind, your creative mind, your outstanding mind, your intuitive perception, um, and grasp of concepts, right? They are really above just the normal ones. There's the normalcy, or the perception that deals with normalcy of what is, information. And then there's the other levels that some of you are wired to strongly, but you have been not using or applying that sense of heightened degree of just insight. you have not been applying it to something. So you could be having great ideas. You could be, really performing if you are an artist beautifully, or you could be writing as well beautiful things. You could be just anything where you apply your energy in November is going to add to quality and beauty. So don't shy away from creation here, because I feel like this is one of those times where you're packed with all the tools that you need to bring about that change, to bring about that difference to your reality. So for some of you that have been wanting to really get something to work, this is the month where you can start feeling like, oh, I'm succeeding. Oh, I'm getting there. Oh, this is flowing. When things just flow, where it feels like you're working, but it's effortless. Like, because things just flow and you start with one idea and then another thing joins in and then another thing joins in and so forward. And things just seem so natural. Something that has not been natural for some of you cancers now starts to be, and it is this huge relief. So if you and a partner or a friend or a person of interest, you have been through something like a weird moment or phase where you couldn't speak or communicate with one another, or you couldn't intimately connect as you would like to be understood and understand, that is also, it's like a challenge that represented a block in connection is also being put away. So most likely some of you are going to feel like you're able to connect again with someone uh, in a much deeper way, and in a way that really brings what we long to find in partnership, which is intimacy, right? Real intimacy in the table here, real communication, because talking, it does not mean that you're communicating. And so there's this quality of communication as well, being established between you and people, Cancer, that it's very is something to really look forward to. Some of you see, I also feel like some of you are going to be seeing a side to a person or to a situation that you were not seeing. So they're like this angle, because of now you're able to access again like that genius like mind, right? Where you're more in contact with the full, with the whole of situations. I feel like you're now seeing or perceiving the angle of a person, side to a person, or a side to a situation, to an opportunity that you didn't see before. And the side that you're seeing is really beautiful, is filled with potential. It's like now seeing, oh, I can work with this, or I know how to get to that point that this situation or this person is showing, and actually, bring more empowerment, bring more abundance, bring more love from it. So something that you didn't know how to handle, you're probably going to know now how to, because it's like you have been under this training, consciously or unconsciously. The challenges you have found, the limitations you have found, the delays worked as preparation and training. Now you're like this master. There's this feeling of mastering here, some sort of skill that you have to that you had to develop because of challenges that now is very useful to something you're doing or about to do. So you're exploring facets that is not just about what's obviously presented to you. So the obvious does not make it, just the first impression is not enough for you. You're exploring all the sides and seeing all the sides and seeing how all the sides can be worked with and how you can benefit from them as well. And for some of you, there's a lot of mutability as well in your month. So things are like shape shifting, and they are shifting into this other thing that's a resemblance to the prior state, but in a different one. That is just refreshing. November is refreshing for you, Cancers. So if you have felt like bored, like things have not been, really relevant or important or significant or interesting, I feel like November is very refreshing, because everything starts to have that stimulus, right? everything in your month feels like it's stimulating to you. Even challenges, it's like you're not taking them in a way that it's difficult. I feel like you're taking them in a way that it's empowering and stimulating. So if you hear a no, or if you face a problem, your attitude to it, your reaction to it is actually just the one that we should all have when we're faced with challenges. So I hope you have a great month. Thank you so much for all of you that have been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and donating to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hopefully, we'll see each other soon.